Hello, death metal fans. I'm Podshirtman, created at 11 Labs. Tonight, Super Diesel conducts an interview with Tony Goff, as he is the sole member of the band IDiedTrying. As of May 22, 2025, you will hear them talk about the most anticipated album of the summer, Gimme Color. On Saturday, May 24th, Tony Goff will be performing an album release concert at the Fairborn Phoenix, and it will be filmed for Blu-ray DVD release. On Memorial Day, May 26th, the uncensored album will be available on Spotify for streaming. However, find out from this interview what will be special about owning a physical copy of a CD. Now let's rock out with Fesleyan Studios.
Test 1 2, test 1 2, la 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 la. All right, it's recording. Welcome everyone to Podshirt Podcast. I am the Super Diesel, Daniel Hood, and I'm with my guest interview. Yes, he's an amazing rocker. I've known of him for at least a decade. He's from the Dayton, Ohio area. Of course, he is the band leader for the band IDiedTrying. And of course, he is the one and only Tony Goff. He's here with me now. But say hello, Tony.
Hey, thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
Tony, thank you so much. And today we're talking about your new album that's going to come out later in May. But you have an album called Gimme Color. But the first thing I want to know is that I like the name of that album, Gimme Color. I just want to know, why are you calling this album Gimme Color? What's the inspiration behind that name?
Okay, so first off, fun fact, I usually don't talk much about like song titles, lyrics, and those kind of things. So like this is kind of like an inside kind of thing that like I usually don't do. So
okay.
So that's cool. So the it's kind of a long story. So the Gimme Color thing is something I came up with probably 10 plus years ago. Lots of multiple different meanings. Some of those are in metal, being based, I guess, primarily in metal. For a long time, it was like everything was like all black clothes, all black guitars, all black drums, and you know, dark, you know.
Yes.
And also emotionally, it was like one emotion kind of the whole time, whether it's like angry or, you know, whatever. It's like one thing, and like, you know, I feel like there's a lot more shades than just black. There's a lot more emotions than just being angry or sad or whatever it is. And like, you know, so I kind of want all the colors and all the shades, all everything. So yeah, so that's kind of the gist of it. Also in wrestling, I'm a big pro wrestling fan.
All right.
And in the 70s, it was, if somebody said, you know, do you want me to get color in a match, that typically means blading, which is blood. Which, are you a wrestling fan?
I am.
Okay. So you know
I am familiar. Blading
you know the term then. So
absolutely.
So for me, when I say give me color, like when somebody would get color, especially back then, it was to make the match more real, to take it one step beyond, to blur the lines of everything and make it more real. So give me colors, like saying also like give me the blood, give me the reality, give me the real stuff. I don't want, you know, the surface stuff. I want, you know, what's inside, kind of a thing. So yeah, so that's really where the title came from. So a lot of different meanings all kind of converge. So.
Absolutely. And the thing is, color, I've been told my whole life that each color means something. Like red means stop, green means go. Just for an example, yellow means to be moderate, if you will. Right. And I kind of, that's a good explanation. That I think heavy metal, they go with a black tone. Everything has to be extreme. In which, with you doing this color, like there's the variations of rock and roll. You can talk about love. You can talk about you know, paying your taxes or eating pizza.
Yeah.
You can talk about anything in music as long as you. So yeah, that's a good explanation, which is why I'm hyped. I think your fans and myself are hyped to hear this album, because you're going to give us a variety on here. And with that, I want to talk about this album, and then you gave me a copy to look at, because just like everyone else, I will listen to this on the day you release this.
Cool.
But and one thing I'm noticing right away, you actually have a color assigned to each track.
I do.
That blows my mind.
Yep.
All right, so let's talk about the first track. Is the first track?
So the first track is Glabler. Actually,
let's talk about this.
If you want to, I don't know if you can obviously just edit this out. If you need to spot.
Yeah, I'll do some tricks.
Yeah, but like, there's a fold out here that has like the song titles as well as it'll be easier for you to probably read it. So yeah, so there's the song titles in order, etc., etc.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go. So yeah, so that way you can kind of correlate it, and then you can just edit out all these pauses if you need to.
Oh, I definitely will. Every time I do this, I always have a pause or something weird happens.
Yeah. So.
All right. So your first track. Now this track is called Glabler. Glabler. Okay. Yeah. This first track is called Glabler, and interesting. You give color assignments to each of these tracks. This was given to Hugger Orange.
Correct.
So now the fun of this show is that I'm going to guess what the song means. And if I'm wrong or right, you tell me, and you just say what the song is about.
Gotcha.
But Glabler,
which is interesting because my song titles are so like kind of out there, if you will.
They are. Well,
yeah, which is great. So I'm interested to hear.
Well, this will be fun.
Yeah,
I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
Glabler. For some reason, I think of gobbler. Like a turkey goes gobbler, but maybe I'm thinking a turkey's being choked. And instead of saying gobble gobble, he's saying glob 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 glob. So this is about a turkey being choked. Now, tell me if I'm right or wrong.
You're wrong.
Okay.
But here's the thing, man. These songs can be about whatever you want them to be about.
Okay.
So, it's if you listen to that song and that's what it's about to you, then that's totally cool. I mean, but no, that's definitely not what it's about. So.
Okay, so I want to know why this is the first track on this album. So why is this song Glabler? Why do you think this should open up the album?
So the way I do stuff is I think of all my songs as little albums unto themselves, because I always, I do everything myself. So I write, record, engineer, mix, master, release it. I do music video for every single song. So every song is like its own record.
Yes.
So Glabler was just the first song going towards this album, and I released the single version of it on Halloween in 2020. So that just happened to be the first song that I felt like it set off, the album cycle that I've been working on over the last 5 years and stuff. So yeah, for me it was just the way the song starts, lyrically, everything about it for me was like it kind of set the tone for the entire piece itself as far as the record goes. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we will definitely look forward to listening to that. But let's go ahead and talk about track 2. Now, this track is called Bath Towel Cape, and of course, it's been assigned Autumn Red.
Right.
So I'm going to guess on Bath Towel Cape, I guess it's a guy or a woman. I guess they are wearing a cape, but it's made out of a bath towel, and they're going out and fight crime.
That's way closer than the first one.
Closer, all right.
Yeah. So, Bath Towel Cape is a reference to. There's a lot of nostalgia on this whole record. Lots of ties to my childhood, growing up. So, Bath Towel Cape was, when. Nowadays, on Amazon, you can get on there and order a cape. You can get a Superman cape. You can get I'm such a nostalgia person. Every time I see like all these things that kids could get now, it's like, I wish this was around when I was a kid. And so when I was a kid, have a cape. It was a bath towel cape. You get a bath towel and a safety pin, and and then you can. Exist in your imagination and in your world and stuff, and that's where running around my backyard with my bath towel cape on. That's kind of the reference to
awesome.
At least where the title came from. So yeah.
Well, I can relate because I think when you're a kid, you want to emanate your favorite hero, a person you see on TV.
Absolutely.
Because I remember I just loved the Ninja Turtles while I was growing up.
Yeah,
so I would sometimes my grandparents would buy this salami. And I would it'd be wrapped up, so it wouldn't be open yet. But before they would open it, I'd go outside, I'd have it in my hand, and I'd pretend it'd be Donatello's stick.
Staff. Yeah.
So, and I just had happy memories. They'd laugh at me like, "What do you do? What are you doing, Daniel?" Oh man. So that I can relate because that reminds me of me doing that when I was like 5 through 9 years old. I probably did that.
Exact same stuff. Yeah, man. Yeah. And that whole existing within your mind, because in your mind at that age. That was a staff. You were Donatello. That kind of encompasses a lot to do with not just that track, but the entirety of the record. So yeah, you're really on the right.
Yes, I can absolutely relate. So let's talk about track 3. I'll probably have to bleep some of this title, but this track that you've titled this.
I wondered. I was like, does he bleep all that out? So yeah.
Oh, I'll do some bleeping. That's okay. But we have this song called 200 Proof Gold Plated MFer.
Yep.
And on the album, he says it loud and clear. But I won't say it. But anyway, and of course, all the color. There's a Superstar Gold. So that's like winning the championship. So
yes,
the big one. So I'm going to say that this song is about a guy who's won the championship, and he goes to the bar and drinks all the beer because it's 200 proof. Reminds me of liquor. So that's some guy he wins an award. So he's won, and he goes to the bar and gets drunk. Am I right?
You're not right.
All right.
You're not right.
All
Yeah,
right.
you're not batting great. But I love hearing the idea of you just reading the title and like the picture that it's painting is great. Yeah. So no, this song, this is kind of the next 3 songs on the record are kind of all a little bit different as far as like. Not thematically, I guess would be the word. So 200 Proof is it's kind of about. It's not. A lot of people think it's about like one singular person. It's not about like one singular person. It's more about adversity and like those kind of things. But basically, it's owning the things about yourself that other people see and the judgment that other people might put on you. It's a way of, owning up to that and just saying, okay, if that's what I am to you, then fine, I accept it. But I'm going to turn the mirror around. I'm going to show you what you are, and I'm going to tell you what you are, and I'm going to be blunt about it.
Okay.
That's pretty much it. So the 200 proof gold plated, I'll say MFer because
Yes.
to keep it clean.
Yeah.
But the 200 proof gold plated MFer is me. So yeah.
All right. Well, that's a very interesting story. You seem like a guy that likes to stand up for yourself. Rockers do that. They believe in themselves. So I'm glad that you was able to write this song. This is something I'll definitely look forward to listening to. Let's go ahead and talk about track 4 on this album. Now, this next track, it's called Field Day Participant.
Correct.
And the color on here is big wheel green.
Correct.
So, field day, when I think of field days, people go to the park or like some museum and people run, or kids, they run around. And you give this the color because we run around in the grass, which is green. So I'm going to say Field Day Participant is, I guess this, and since this is your album, I imagine you're recalling the time when you was a young kid on a field trip and you was in the grass with your friends. You guys were just having, like, you had no care in the world. You were just enjoying you're enjoying your field day. So am I right about that? Yeah.
You are 100% right, man.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much. I mean, that's the spirit of it. You pretty much knocked it out of the park, man. Yeah.
Right.
It's about growing up, and that last day of school was always field day. At least that's what they called it where I grew up. Where there'd be. The year is over, everything's accomplished. The entire summer break starts the next day. You feel like your whole life is in front of you. The accomplishment is over because you've survived the year, you survived the school year, you've survived whatever, and it's just it's that the simplicity of that childlike. I don't even know what really a singular word. The childlike passion that you just the way kids have for life. Me and my girlfriend talk about this all the time. Like whenever we see like a little kid, that's like just aimlessly playing and just without a care in the world, and it's just like, at some point in your life growing up, we kind of lose that to an extent. And this song's kind of me kind of reaching back and trying to get that same kind of just unabashed and unashamed, just lust for life that you see kids have,
Yes.
and just all fun, all that, and not losing that and not taking it for granted. So, but overall, man, as far as the over umbrella, you nailed that one, 100%.
All right.
100%.
Yeah, well, absolutely, because I have good memories of field day. It was just so much fun. Like you go to class and they gave you this paper. Hey, we're going to go on a trip.
Right.
There was no better feeling.
Yep.
I can relate.
Yep.
Okay, let's go and talk about track 5 of this album. This song is called "Beware Them Weirdos."
That's correct.
And the color, this is a blue wackadoo.
Blue wackadoo.
All right, because weirdos can be wackadoos, so that's a good match.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm going to guess that, Beware Them Weirdos. It kind of reminds me of the classic hip-hop track, The Freaks Come Out at Night. It's the idea that you just got to be, if you go out in the world, there are bad people. They're crazy. They might kidnap you or kill you. So basically, you're just warning your audience that there's weirdos. Be careful and stay away from them.
Yep. And a lot of times those weirdos are us.
All right. Now you.
So you're kind of on the right thing, you know.
Yeah.
This one's more of a. It's about embracing just. You know, so when I said that, like, you know, these three kind of center songs are kind of a little different. I think a Field Day Participant is, I jokingly call it my radio single.
Yeah.
And then Beware Them Weirdos, I've, you know, jokingly said is my party song. Because it is, and the Freaks Come Out at Night thing is that's pretty interesting when you said that, because this song has almost a hip hop beat that kind of goes throughout the whole kind of thing, that kind of party vibe. So you're like 75% spot on with your one with that. Yeah, but yeah, this one for more or less, man, is just about accepting, you know, the things again, you know, growing up, you know, you kind of look at things about you that make you different, and other people can maybe make you feel bad for the things that make you different or whatever. And this is all about, you know, embracing who you are and realizing that there's an entire world out there of you. You know, there's more, you know, yes, I'm a weirdo, but there's actually more weirdos than there are quote unquote normal people. And, you know, you have to get out there and realize, you know, that, you know, you're not alone. You know,
that's a good thought, because I think maybe I'll slightly correct myself that I'm thinking that anyone can be a weirdo to someone that doesn't know you.
Exactly.
Like, when I was thinking weirdos, I was thinking people that go to jail and do bad, nasty things.
Yeah.
There's those, but then there's people, you can be a weirdo and not
These are
necessarily...
the positive weirdos.
These are good weirdos, which you know what, I could be a good weirdo.
Absolutely.
To someone, I'm a good weirdo.
Exactly.
Well,
exactly.
That's a good way of putting it, man.
Yep. And I think that's a good goal.
Right.
I think that's a good goal to have. I mean, it's, you know, embrace what makes us different. You know, fuck. Sorry, I didn't cuss, but
go ahead.
But you know, don't try to fit in. You know, there's no point in trying to fit in. You know, be unapologetically and as authentic as you can who you are, and you know, all the ships will fall where they may. I feel like with that. So
excellent.
Yep.
Now let's talk about the last track that's on this album. Now this track is called "Throwing Knives."
There's actually two more tracks technically.
Okay.
There is a bonus track, but yeah. So yeah. But as far as what's going to be on Spotify and stuff, "Throwing Knives" will be the last song. Correct.
Absolutely, yes. And we'll get to your bonus stuff in a minute.
Okay.
But talk about what's on this album. "Throwing Knives," and the color that you've given this is fish belly white.
Correct.
Wow. So the only thing I can think, well, since I was thinking, you know, as a callback to weirdos, maybe these weirdos are throwing knives, but I'm thinking this, I guess, yeah, this one's tough. I'm just going to say because of the color you've given it, it's fish belly white. I'm thinking this is about being a camper or going fishing. You find a fish, you get your knife, you just gut it and cook it. So I'm going to say it's about that.
No.
I'm way wrong. All right.
Yeah, I like how you went, I'm way wrong, before I even said anything.
Yeah.
No, yeah, this, a lot of people don't know this. I've been posting a lot about Throwing Knives. Throwing Knives is it's 28 minutes, 13 seconds.
Yes.
So it's basically an album into itself. This will probably, potentially, depending on when this goes up and when people listen to it in relation to my first show, a song that I wrote in 2002 that I've been closing shows with since 2002 is a song called "Swallowing Swords."
Okay.
And that was that was the favorite song that my mom ever heard that I wrote. She passed away in 2015.
Okay.
But she said in probably me and my best friend were talking about this week. I don't know exactly when, but I think around 2012 or 2013, she was like, you know, you should write a sequel to Swallowing Swords. And I was like, what? And she's like, yeah. She's like, you should write a sequel to it. And I was like, I guess I never thought about that. And then she goes, and because she always liked it when I played like bluesier stuff, because she, you know, and because she was a big blues fan. And she goes, yeah, and you should throw some bluesy stuff in there. And I was just like, okay. So I've spent the last 12, 13 years or something in various forms of slowly working on conceptualizing this song. So this song is the sequel to probably my most known song, which is Swallowing Swords. So this is, Throwing Knives is the sequel to Swallowing. So
okay. Now with that, well, I'll have to listen. So you say this is Swallowing Swords was the predecessor.
Correct.
Well, I'll have to listen to that because I haven't heard that yet.
Yeah.
But with that, I definitely have a few more questions for you.
Absolutely.
Because yes, you're doing something different than I think most artists would do for this album. I know. or at least for any artist. Maybe big artists do it, but I know you're going to launch this album with a special concert in Fairborn, Ohio on Memorial Day weekend. Yep. And you've done a lot of one-man shows in the past, but this is going to be different because you actually have hired a film crew. They're going to make a Blu-ray DVD that people can buy shortly after, and you're going to film. You're going to have a concert-style release of this album, in addition to the physical CD and audio that we'll hear on Spotify and Apple.
If we ever filmed anything, my friend Matt, who does pretty much all of my filming, the stuff that I don't do myself, he's filmed every single solo show I've done, with the exception of like maybe one or two. So like 15 shows. So like we always film every show I do. This one will be different. So when you said having a company come in, there is no company. Like me, my best friend Justin, and Matt are pretty much quote unquote the company. So everything's in house. So I perform the show, Matt films the show, Justin helps with the show, and then I take all the footage, and then I edit everything, and then I release everything on my label and through my distributor and stuff like that. So that's the way everything works. So there really isn't any outside, there isn't anything outside. It's all me, 100%, and my crew of guys that helps me. So yeah.
Of course, and at this concert, you will perform the 6 tracks that we mentioned for this new album, yep. Gimme Color. Yep. But also, there'll be a bonus track. It's going to be called To Carry On.
So yeah, so To Carry On is only going to be on the physical copy of the record, okay. And it's only going to be included on the digital downloads of the record that are included. Because every one of the CDs, if you get one, comes with an actual digital download. The only way to get that song, the only way to even hear that song, is to get a copy of the record and get the digital download. So that song, I played a part of it at a show a few years ago. It's a song I've been working on for almost 20 years. Okay. It's just vocals and guitar, and I played a little bit of it at a anniversary show a couple years ago, and people have not let me they've hounded me. Are you ever going to release that? Are you ever going to release that? And I said I never would, and I thought, you know what? So I fired my stuff up at home. My studio. I run my own studio and everything, and I did the whole song in one take. And went into one section of the song, did a little bit of effects and stuff on it the way I liked it. I've never even listened to the whole song.
Okay, wow.
So it is the most personal song I've ever written, and I probably will never ever play it live. But the other 6 songs, yes, I'm going to play in order. I'm going to play the other 6 songs in order.
So you're not going to perform this in concert, and it's not going to be on Spotify or any streaming device. The only way you can hear this song whatsoever is on this album that I'm holding.
Yep.
All right.
Or the digital download.
Digital download
with the record. Yeah. But as far as streaming, no, it will never be on streaming ever.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's good for the audience to know that want to listen to your stuff. All right. Well, with that, this has been a great interview. Like I said, I won't be able to come to this concert. It sounds awesome, but I will try to catch a future one. And I will buy the DVD. I promise.
Awesome. Blu-ray.
Blu-ray DVD.
Yeah, this one will be on Blu-ray. So yeah.
All right. Well, Tony, good luck with everything, and I wish you well.
Thank you for having me on.
Thank you to everyone who listened to this episode. Please look in the description underneath the play button and find out how you can connect with Tony Goff and his new album on social media. Expect the next episode of Podshirt to hit on Spotify and all podcast platforms on Thursday, June 5 at 7 p.m. Eastern. The YouTube video version will be released hours later at 9 p.m. Happy holidays, and remember, good metal music is not dead.